Getting Set, a basic high school level scene design course. I'm your instructor, Jason McIntyre. In this lesson, we will deal with dimension and scale. First, let's talk about the setting or the scene. Most scripts will provide you with a scene breakdown. This will give you an idea of where and when your scene is taking place. Time period and geographic location may also be a factor. Locations or scenes typically fall into 4 categories: interior, exterior, environmental, and conceptual. Once that's all determined, it's time to get your ideas out of your head and onto a page. Rough sketches are fine before things take shape, but ideally, we want to communicate our design concept with clarity and precision. So we begin with dimension. Hopefully, at this point, you know how to read a tape measure, have basic instruction skills, and are familiar with basic construction materials. All scenery is drafted in scale. What is scale? Scale is a predetermined measurement used to specify the equivalent of 1 foot in a drawing or model. For example, 1/2 inch on paper equals 1 foot in the real world. For this exercise, we'll be drafting in 1/2 inch scale. So for us, 1/2 inch equals 1 foot. 1/4 inch equals 6 inches. 1/8 inch equals 3 inches. And 1/16 equals 1.5 inches. Get the picture? This is a triangular architect scale ruler. On it, you will find various scale sizes: 3/32, 3/16, 1/8, 1/4, 1.5 inch, 3 inches, 3/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, 1 inch, and 1/2 inch, and 16, which is just a full scale ruler. However, for this exercise, you could use a standard ruler, but you have to be able to break it down. In our case, 1 inch will equal 2 feet on a standard ruler.
For this exercise, you will need a standard sheet of white paper, a scale ruler or standard ruler, a mechanical pencil with 0.7 millimeter lead, and a flat drawing surface. Alright, here we go. First, orient the paper short side up on the table. Next, line the ruler up with the bottom edge of the paper. With the ruler on the paper, draw a line all the way across the page. Now line the ruler up on the left-hand side of the page. With the ruler on the paper, draw a line down the page. We have just created an X and Y axis, X being the horizontal, Y being the vertical. Using 1/2 inch scale, we are now going to draw a simple 4x8 rectangle, 4 being the X, 8 being the Y. Because we don't want to start our drawing directly on the X and Y axis, we are going to measure up 2 feet from our X, give ourselves a tick mark just on the inside of our Y. Where X and Y are intersected, that's our 0. From 0 on X, measure over 2 feet and give yourself a tick mark on the X axis. Measure over 6 feet from 0 on the X and give yourself another tick mark. From that mark, pivot your ruler upward, leave 0 on the ruler on X and measure up 2 feet and make a tick mark. Now place your ruler on the first tick mark we made on the Y axis at 6 feet on your ruler. Connecting the 2 tick marks with your ruler, draw a straight horizontal line starting at 4 feet on your ruler and stopping at 0. Now, using 0 on your ruler, measure up vertically from the first tick you made on the X axis 10 feet and make a tick mark. Go to the second tick, which is on the X axis at 6 feet. Using 0 on your ruler, again measure up vertically 10 feet and make a tick. Now move your ruler horizontally, connecting the two tick marks, placing your ruler 6 feet on the y-axis. Draw a straight horizontal line starting at 4 feet on your ruler and stopping at 0. Spin your ruler so that it is vertical and 0 is on the x-axis at your 2-foot mark. The inside edge of your ruler should touch your two horizontal lines at 2 foot and 10 foot. Draw a straight vertical line connecting these 2 points. Move your ruler across the page to the right to your 6-foot tick on the x-axis. Your ruler should hit your two horizontal lines at 2 foot and 10 foot. Draw a straight vertical line on the outside edge of your ruler connecting these 2 points. You should have a rectangle that measures 4 foot wide by 8 feet tall. Now we add our extension and dimension lines. The extension lines are placed 1/8 of an inch away from the object. They are 1/2 inch long. Extension lines never touch the object to avoid confusing them with the actual drawn object. Place your ruler on the vertical edge of your rectangle and draw a 1/2 inch line 1/8 of an inch above your piece. Give yourself a tick mark in the middle of your 1/2 inch line. Repeat this action on the opposite side of your rectangle parallel to your first extension line. Rotate your ruler 90 degrees and connect the 2 marks we made at 1/4 of an inch. Lightly draw a horizontal line connecting those 2 marks. This is your dimension line. Now, write the number 4 with an apostrophe next to it in the middle of your dimension line. We will repeat this action to dimension the height of your rectangle on the left-hand side. Half an inch line, 1/8 of an inch away. 1/2 an inch line, 1/8 of an inch away. Tick in the middle, tick in the middle, and draw your dimension line. On your drawings in the future, your number 8 would be drawn horizontally. But for this exercise, we're going to keep it vertical just to keep it simple. To finish off your dimension lines, we are going to put in a few quick tick marks to create arrowheads. The points should touch the extension lines. Now we're going to turn our rectangle into a flat by adding a doorway. The average doorway is about 2 foot 6 inches wide by 6 foot 8 inches tall. First, we need to find the vertical center of our flat, 2 feet. Using your scale ruler, measure over 2 feet from the left-hand side of your flat and give yourself a tick mark at 2 feet at the top and the bottom of the flat. Draw a vertical line connecting your 2 points at the top and bottom of the flat. This is your center line. Now from center, measure 1 foot 3 left and right and give yourself a tick mark in both places at the bottom of your flat. Measure up 6 foot 8 from the bottom of your flat and give yourself a tick mark. Do this on both sides of the flat. Using your ruler horizontally connecting the 2 6 foot 8 tick marks, place your ruler at 1 foot on the center line. Now place a tick mark to the right at exactly 1 foot 3. Sliding your ruler to the left, still touching the two 6'8" tick marks, place the ruler at 3 inches on the center line and give yourself a tick mark to the left at 1 foot. Along the same line, move your ruler horizontally to the right, placing the 2-foot measurement of your ruler on the 1-foot tick mark you just made. Now, from the 2-foot measurement to the 6-inch measurement on your ruler, draw a straight horizontal line. Rotate your ruler 90 degrees, placing it at the 8-inch measurement on the ruler, touching the tick mark at the bottom of the flat left of center. Align the 6-foot measurement on your ruler with the left-hand edge of the floating 2'6" horizontal line. Draw a vertical line from the 6-foot measurement down to the 8-inch measurement. Keeping your ruler in this position, move your ruler to the 2 points right of center. Now draw a vertical line from the 6-foot measurement to the 8-inch measurement. Time for your extension and dimension lines. You will draw 4 vertical extension lines at the bottom of the flat, 1/2 inch long and 1/8 inch away from the bottom of the flat. These will line up with the outside edges of your flat and the interior edges of the doorway. Once your extension lines are done, add your dimension lines, scale measurements, and arrowheads. So, on the right-hand side of your flat, you will draw the extension dimension lines for your doorway height. All the same techniques apply. You are simply drawing them outside of the flat to avoid confusion with anything drawn on the inside. So again, set your ruler, your line's a 1/2 inch long and 1/8 inch away from the flat. Half an inch long, 1/8 inch away from the outside edge of the flat. Mark center on your 1/2 inch. Spin your ruler and draw that dimension line. And once again, on other drawings, you would have drawn this 6 horizontally, but for our purposes today, we're going to keep our numbers vertical. And tick mark, et voila, you just drew a flat.
So, I hope you found this lesson to be informative and challenging. Take a look around your room, your home, even your neighborhood, and start practicing drawings to scale. Our next lesson will be on stage plans and ground plans. Until then, I'll be getting ready while you're getting set.